stick with pitching. We'll move along. We'll stick with the starter. He wasn't perfect, but Andrew Heaney, very good last night in a very odd rain postponed game in Minnesota. 4.1, 4 1/3, excuse me. We don't do decimals here. We believe in fractions because we're good Americans. 3 hits, 0 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. Gentlemen, does Andrew Heaney's performance last night change any of your outlooks for what he can do on the season? Mr. Freddie Freeman, you can start.
I am a noted Heen dog hater, and I am more than willing to eat my words this year. More than willing. Let me just throw it out there first before I say all of this. I hope that he proves me wrong. I hope that he becomes like their number somewhere in their top 3 pitchers so far through the start of the season. First time through the rotation, he is in the top 3. He outperformed Walker Buehler. He far outperformed Julio. Tony's still TBD. I don't know what they're doing with him so far. So in terms of first time through, yeah, probably the second best pitcher of the rotation right now. Again, first time through. I am not going to be suckered into a one-game performance and sell my soul to the devil immediately. I am still going to say the Twins did not look good. The Twins' bats looked terrible for both of those little games. Weather worked against them maybe a little bit. I don't know what their deal is. I think you need a dome on that stadium, obviously. I do like the fact that he's mixing in that slider more. The biggest thing when he came over, and Doug brought this up on his first video when they brought him over, he is terrible with his pitch mix and pitch selection, and he has leaned on that fastball, which is not a good fastball, far too often in his career. However, swing and miss stuff has been elite. Yep. So, what do the Dodgers do best with pitchers who can't seem to find it but have had stuff in the past? They mix up their pitch selection, and it usually works. 9 times out of 10, it's worked so far in their processes with pitchers bringing them in. So, could be good. I'm not ready to call him the savior of the team yet.
They're already trying to mix in that Blake Trinan slider, as they call it. It looked good in game 1, but you gotta, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I want to be fooled a couple times before I believe this guy is the real deal.
Well, I think my goal here is to try to turn you guys into Heaney heads. I think that's going to be my goal this year. And like you said, it is just one game. Based on what we saw today from that Minnesota offense, it is a little less impressive today. But like you said, you mentioned that pitch mix. Last season, through that heater at a 59.4% clip. Last night, it was at 44.8% clip. Clint, you mentioned that slider. With that sweeper slider that he introduced.
One game with it in his life.
But if he's commanding that fastball, he's elevating it, changing those eye levels. He's always been able to kind of, like you said, generate that swing and miss, generate that arm side run with that, with his fastball, with his changeup. I think
generates hard contact and high fly.
That's the thing. I mean, the big key for him is, that's going to be the big key for him is, can he keep the ball in the yard? Last year, home runs per 9, top 5 in a bad way at 2.01 per game. And I think, though, the promising thing is how receptive he is to this Dodgers coaching. I mean, is he Connor McGinnis or is he Connor MacGyver? Because he's just reinventing guys every single year. And I think by showing them, look, when I was at spring training, we saw Connor McGinnis and those guys in the clubhouse to showing him different grips. So he was very receptive. And I think another big thing too was signing him before the lockout began, so he can kind of get the information ahead of time to see what he can kind of learn during the lockout. But yeah, like I said, like you said, it is one start, a 5.83 ERA last year. He was pretty terrible, but the Dodgers, if anyone can get the most out of a pitcher, it's this organization.
29 home runs last year.
29 bombs.
In less than, in fewer than 130 innings, 130.1 innings.
I could give up 29 home runs.
Big point guy.
Heaney truthers stand up.
How many hit by pitch?
Heaney truthers stand up.
I have not been a Heaney truther, or I have been a Heaney truther. Like, I'm not.
Heaney head.
I got roasted last week for saying the Giants have a better rotation because their number 5 is just far better than Heaney. Look, he had for the first time ever, and Fabian Ardaya, the Athletic, pointed the stat out, so I got to cite that there. But first time ever that he threw more breaking balls than fastballs in the start. Clearly, it worked. Also, his career ground ball rate only 37.7. Last night it was 50. So keeping the ball in the yard, they're keeping the ball down, trying to create those ground balls, which he has not been able to do his entire career. Because you also look at his fly ball to home run rate was awful. That was also 5 worst in the league.
That ball go up and out.
Yeah, and you think this, you have that pitch they call the sweeper we've all talked about. I think the impressive thing is how well he did with it. And then Dave Roberts admitted, he's like, yeah, we've never really had him throw it to live hitters. I think Heaney said that himself, like, I've never thrown this pitch to live hitters, and it worked out. But look, it was a very weird game. It's one start. We'll see. But at the end of the day, they didn't get Heaney to pitch like that. They got him to eat up innings and not create a complete catastrophe in every start. So as long as he's doing that, I think we're all right.